New day on the Power Five. Got Champions League, the NBA, and college basketball for you today. 5 free winners. Smash that like button when you agree. Comment down below if you feel differently. We start in the Champions League, 3 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports Network, so you don't even need Paramount Plus to watch this one. Borussia Dortmund hosting Lille. Bettors are all over Dortmund in this first leg. The German side has moved from minus 128 to minus 170 on the three-way line. I agree with the move. If the current price is a bit too juicy for you, then I'd say to lay the -1. Would not be at all surprised to see Dortmund win here by more than a goal because they've been a different team under Niko Kovac. Off back-to-back wins in the Bundesliga for the first time all season. They've got the top goal scorer so far in the Champions League with Sergio Guirassy. The team has scored 22 goals in the league phase, second most, trailing only Barcelona. Meanwhile, Lille, they were a little fortunate to finish top 8 in the league phase. They had by far the worst XGD per 90 of any team in the top 15, had a somewhat fortunate conversion rate when it came to goals scored versus shot attempts. Lille also have kept only one clean sheet in their last 11 matches overall. Dortmund wins today. By the way, even though I did lose my soccer play on Monday, still number one over the last 10 months at WagerTalk on the pitch, includes a 9-3-1 run. Pretty crazy. Guys, my only loss in any sport over the last 4 days at WagerTalk came on a play where I bet Nottingham Forest minus 144 on the three-way line. They closed north of minus 200, so I'm holding my CLV trophy. And guess what? Unfortunately, the Tricky Trees could not get it done in regulation. But still, I'm on a 27-9-1 run overall at WagerTalk. Number one last 3 days, number one last 7 days. We'll be telling you more about my $5 play for Tuesday at the end of the show. Let's hit some NBA now, shall we? Milwaukee, Atlanta, 7:40 Eastern, total down to 241. I like the over. In case you missed it last night, the Hawks and Grizzlies went over what was the highest over-under line we've seen this entire NBA season. Atlanta won 132-130 with a last-second tip-in. I know Zeno and I liked the under in that game. We talked about it on the morning wager. We were wrong. However, I won't get fooled again here. Milwaukee has been better defensively since the All-Star break. I understand that, but probably due for a little regression as their previous 5 opponents have combined to shoot less than 30% from 3. That cannot continue happening. Meanwhile, the Bucks shouldn't have any problems scoring in this game because Atlanta's last 3 opponents have all hit the 130-point mark. So over it is in Bucks Hawks. 10 p.m. Eastern on TNT. We've got the Suns hosting the Clippers. Talk about learning your lesson. I tried with the Suns Sunday night here on the Power 5. They got embarrassed at home by the T-Wolves. Suns are now a league worst 21-39-1 against the spread, on pace to be the least profitable season for the franchise going all the way back to 1990. Now, the Clippers haven't exactly been a cash cow either, if you've been paying attention. They're 0-7 ATS on their current road trip, which ends tonight, just 1-6 straight up as well. But I will back LA money line in this spot. You look at the WagerTalk Live odds screen, the line has certainly moved in the Clips direction. It's a revenge spot for them. Surprisingly, they're 0-3 straight up versus Phoenix this season. Now, those 3 losses have come by just a combined 11 points. Given how disappointing the Suns have been, I just cannot see the Clippers losing to them again. Clips fighting for a top 6 spot in the West. Phoenix has clearly mailed it in for the year. Clippers win in this one. Now to college basketball, where I've got a couple 9 p.m. Eastern tip-offs here for you. The first one is number 22 Texas A&M hosting number 1 Auburn. Auburn getting 5 and, or pardon me, A&M is getting 5.5 in this one. If Auburn was getting 5.5, I would say bet your life savings. But no, I would take the points in a buy low spot as the Aggies are 0-4 straight up and against the spread their last 4 games. Now, there's always the concern of Auburn going off. Okay, I understand that. However, I think A&M can hang in here thanks to their uncanny ability to get offensive rebounds. They're number 1 in the country in that department. Auburn happens to be near the bottom of the SEC when it comes to giving up second chances. This also sets up a sort of a flat spot for the top-ranked Tigers, who have already clinched the SEC regular season title. They have rival Alabama on deck this weekend. A&M's just clearly the more desperate team Tuesday night. I would back them getting points here in College Station. Hopefully we get a good game out of Wade Taylor. Last one on the docket for tonight is Iowa State minus 9.5 versus BYU. Seems like a big number to lay against the BYU team that's been shooting the ball well as of late, very well. But I think this Iowa State team, when healthy, which they are now, is maybe a top 5 team in America. Also, BYU not the same team away from Provo. Iowa State, why do I think they're maybe a top 5 team? Well, when fully healthy, they've lost just 1 game all season. That was on a last-second putback against Auburn very early in the season in an MTE. The Cyclones just blew out Arizona Saturday here at Hilton. That was a play on the Power 5 if you caught that show. I think they roll again. Again, Iowa State, an elite team when they've got all hands on deck. So, quick recap of the Power Five here for Tuesday in the Champions League. I like Borussia Dortmund against Lille. Look for again, if that price on the three-way line is too juicy for you, then consider laying the -1. In the NBA, I like Milwaukee, Atlanta over 241. I like the Clippers on the money line against the Suns. College basketball, we like A&M getting points at home against Auburn, and I would lay it with Iowa State against BYU. Last chance to comment down below with your thoughts after you're done doing so. Head on over to wt.buzz/BP, where today's top college basketball selection is available for just $5, guys. In addition to all those great runs I mentioned earlier, I am 26-9 my last 35 in college hoops, including a perfect 6-0 the last 4 days. Thanks to everyone who was with me on Weber State plus 8.5 last night. Hoping tonight's play is even easier again. Only $5 to get on board. WT.buzz/BP. Quite the run we're on in college hoops. 26-9 last 35, including 6-0 the last 6. That is going to do it for Tuesday's edition of the show. Hope you enjoyed it. Smash that like button if you did. Make sure you're subscribed to the WagerTalk YouTube channel. And until next time, let's cash some tickets.